Hey everybody, and welcome to my N5 series in the SP404 Mark II, where I cover a topic in about 5 minutes. This is session 10.9, and I want to kind of cover in conclusion for the Midi. This has been something I've needed to kind of get my hands around to write up for the unofficial guide I've been working on. The Midi section's been pretty blank. I do think that there's not going to be a whole lot to write into it because at least for using the Mark II as a MIDI output device. I think syncing seems to work fine, but sending out actual MIDI data from the pads where you're limited to only able to go out for like C1 to, I don't know, what is it, D sharp 2 or whatever, it doesn't really give you a whole lot of range to work with. There's no way to transpose those pads. You have to record samples to them. I mean, it just kind of all ends up giving me kind of an underwhelming experience. But I'm coming from a position where I've been working with Midi for a very long time. I have a lot of gear that knows how to handle and talk Midi, and can do a lot of more advanced things. That said, I've worked with other SPs. I have to say, this is the first SP that actually can do Midi out, which actually it's, even if it's a bare bones feature, it is a nice addition. I'm really hoping that beyond firmware 1.14 that Roland's able to add in, maybe not everything that I'd like or other people might like, but some more advanced features. I think there's a lot that the pattern sequencer as designed could be added to do, whether it's PO33 or Digitact style parameter locks, or being able to just send CC control data or things. I think there are some things you can do. Unfortunately, I also think we're kind of limited by what the interface has here, and I totally get that Roland is trying to balance the ability. I don't know how I want to put this, but I think they're trying to balance the ability of what they can do with the limited interface. And I mean, the screen opens up a lot of potential, but I don't know that a lot of people using the SP want to go in and do, MIDI note by, or MIDI event by MIDI event scrolling through here. You'd end up having to use the value knob even more than you already do. And to be able to go in and tweak different parameters, it's a lot to ask. Would it be nice if it was there? Probably, but I don't know that many people would use it. So, as I said, I get where the device is. I think there's a few tweaks that I would be looking for personally. I'm okay with each bank having its own MIDI channel. Being able to take those banks and transpose or even configure what the notes are that are sending for output would be really nice. When you go into chromatic mode, being able to set a scale and MIDI root note and stuff would be really handy. I wish that the external source button was not always sending a channel 1, I think it's B1, MIDI channel 1, B1 note, but it's just super easy to get this recorded in as a sustained note that goes forever on channel 1. And it would be just nice if you could go into your system, the utility settings under system for MIDI or whatever, and just say don't send external source as a note. But I do also want to say, my thoughts on the MIDI implementation are also, while they might be a little bit negative for it, I do like the device a lot. I think it has an awful lot to offer. I do like I do tend to like the simplified workflows that kind of draw you in and really force you to think outside the box. I'm one of those people that likes to approach the having fewer, whether it's patches or programs or just having limitations in place. I think helps really get and push people into trying new things, and I think the SP absolutely has that in spades. So I'm not looking. Certainly not looking for this to be able to do everything, and I do think a lot of what it does great. It's a product line that's had several iterations, so they're definitely doing something right. And if the MIDI implementation just is what it is, I'm not going to lose any sleep if it doesn't get improved. But it would be nice to see it get improved in a few ways, because I think that it just has more to offer than what it can do for today, especially for people that don't have any other devices that can output MIDI. I just think it can do a little bit more, Roland. It can do a little bit more. So all that said, I just want to say thanks, guys. I hope that you learned something from how the MIDI worked. I know that usually I'm trying to go put a track together, and I know that I kind of just gave up after doing 3 sessions here, but I thought it was important to kind of just get it out here, let you guys know kind of what my thoughts are on this. As I said, it's okay, but it could be a little bit better. I'm not looking for a night and day change. So thanks, everybody, and have a great day, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.